Hey, good morning, everybody. Last couple weeks, I've been reading in the Gospels, in Matthew and then some in John. And I've been struck so much by the humility of Jesus, what he models and examples for us in his character of just humility. In the book of John, there is a moment where Jesus has just performed a miracle and he perceives that the people wish to make him king. And so he quietly leaves. The very next chapter, his brothers are around him and they are prodding him to go up to Jerusalem with them. And, they're saying essentially to him, show the people your signs and wonders. Reveal yourself to the world, show them who you really are, if it's really true, And Jesus responds to them that his time has not yet come, and he ends up going to Jerusalem a few days later, kind of sneaks in all incognito. There's also a moment in John chapter 7 where those who are hearing and believing in Jesus and the words that he is saying and what he is revealing of himself to them, they're believing in him and they're quarreling with the leaders and the Pharisees and the officers who say, haven't you read the scriptures concerning the Messiah? And basically saying, this Jesus, he's not the Messiah. Don't you know your scriptures, Yet the people believe. What the Pharisees were so certain of was that the Messiah was going to come and be a very different type of leader than what Christ actually was. They were expecting him to kind of come in and take over everything, and instead Jesus comes in as our humble shepherd, our humble king who comes all the way from heaven down to earth, lives as a man, dies a humble death on a cross. He leads us downward in the way of humility. Reading about Jesus and how he is like that, I long to be more and more like him. And I wonder for us today, in my own life, in our lives today, how are we modeling the Christ-likeness of Jesus in the way we are humble? Do we act like the Pharisees and the officers and leaders and going, oh, I'm so certain what God is doing in the world today, or I think I know what God is up to, or can speak on behalf of God? Or do we take pause with humility in our hearts to turn our eyes to him and look to him for answers, to ask questions? Are we modeling humility to those around us in the way we interact with them, in the way we are responding to the political climate, or just the tensions in our day, because there are so many? Let's follow after Jesus. That is, after all, who we are, Christ followers. We follow him. We follow in his footsteps. We follow in his ways. What is it like for us to take on a posture of humility in all of our days? Friends, let's pray to be more Christ-like. Let's ask him to show us ways that we can model that downward way of leadership as our humble King, our humble shepherd did. Have a great Friday.